Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to ask our newly appointed President, Mr John Davies, to give us the opening address.
Well, Cabinet Secretary, ladies and gentlemen, fellow members, British Lion, what a pleasure it is to be standing here today in front of fellow members and industry colleagues. There is no greater honour for a Welsh farmer than to be elected President of NFU Cymru and by his peers to this position. I'd like to praise Stephen, my predecessor. I was tail gunner for Steve for 4 years. Steve's honour, commitment and integrity was never questioned by anybody. It was a real pleasure to serve with you, Stephen. Thank you very much. I wonder if we could just show our appreciation. For the first time ever, we were about to start and Steve was sat down the front in time and he was looking at his watch. So there was quite a nice bit of irony to that. But there we are. I'm very much looking forward to working with Aled, my Deputy President, all of our board chairmen, the county chairs, delegates and members during the momentous time of change for our industry. Looking forward also to working with our Cabinet Secretary, Minister of the Environment, Welsh Government officials and industry colleagues, and everyone who shares our vision to build an attractive, dynamic and innovative Welsh food and farming sector. We want to work in partnership, Cabinet Secretary, and co-produce policies in Wales that deliver economically, environmentally, culturally and socially. And that's really key to what we mean on that. In terms of a production line, if you think of the local car production line just down the road here, we want to be involved in the design and the build of this car from the very beginning. We want to be part of putting the engine in it, making sure that the engine is right, making sure that all the parts fit correctly, that then it is delivers and it's fit for the marketplace. So we're really, really keen to be actively involved in each and every stage of the development process going forward. It's also important, Brexit dominates the agenda at the present time, and it's really, really important that we hold to account those people that made promises. People made the decision to leave for Brexit. It's really, really important now that those promises are delivered on. We have a 7 billion food and farming industry here in Wales. It's heavily reliant on free and frictionless trade with our nearest neighbour, and this must remain following our departure from the EU in March 2019. And I make no apology for that, ladies and gentlemen. We've been clear and consistent about that from the very start, and it's absolutely vital for each and every one of our business in this room today, and more importantly, future generations going forward. The three cornerstones that interlink those in terms of our policy are productivity, environment and volatility. And we believe that it's absolutely vital that that three-legged milking stool has those interlinked, because if you only sit on a two-legged stool, it's a pretty uncomfortable place to be. And that's absolutely vital going forward that we get this policy right. A policy that underpins Brand Wales, bringing together the full range of goods and services provided by Welsh farming under one umbrella. An integrated strategy encompassing food, tourism and the full range of ecosystem and landscape services provided by Welsh farming. Transition managed, absolutely vital that we have a period where we can adjust, providing the opportunity to take everybody who wants to come on the journey with us. Very pleased with the Cabinet Secretary in our meeting that she recently confirmed that it is her intention to pay BPS in 2019 in the current format. We need that stability going forward, given the uncertainty that surrounds our future trading relationship. We need to move to a new policy over time, piloting new initiatives developed in partnership with farmers to ensure that they work and deliver on the ground. We have quite a bit of RTP left remaining, and it's absolutely vital that we try and develop future policy and possibly pilot some of the projects around that. I'd like to pay respect to the 800 farms that have benefited under the Farm Business Grant. It's interesting to see that England have copied it now and launched something very similar. At home today there are, or at least I hope there are, there's 3 or 4 boys working on a new handling system, and there's a borehole going in next week, and there's a sheep system going training as well. Many other farms are doing that. It creates work, it improves our efficiency, and it's absolutely vital going forward. I urge each and every one of you, the new window's open, urge each and every one of you to take part in that and make your business more efficient going forward. I do feel also that on the majority of issues, NFU Cymru and Welsh Government are very closely aligned, as highlighted by the recent Welsh Government trade policy paper and repeated commitments of our First Minister and Cabinet Secretary to ring-fence the budget for Welsh farming. Thank you for those commitments, Cabinet Secretary. And it was a real pleasure to host the First Minister on farm. He was with us for most of the day, just a couple of days into taking office. And it's really, really important that we get those key messages through and have the opportunity to talk face-to-face around the kitchen table and raise our concerns and also point out some of the opportunities going forward. I'd like to commend the decision with regards to water quality. The Cabinet Secretary for her plans to work with us on exploring options to safeguard water quality in Wales. Absolutely vital to each and every one of us in this room. NFU Cymru is absolutely committed to working with the government, the regulator and anybody with an interest in this matter to deliver practical and workable solutions to water quality in Wales. Pleased that the Cabinet Secretary will be meeting our water quality group later on this afternoon, where we'll outline our immediate work plan. I'd like to thank members like Jeff. We heard him earlier on the video saying we're part of the solution. Mike and Will Pritch for their work in this area and their continued commitment to improving water quality across Wales. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the work really starts on this. It's absolutely vital we nail this and get this right and hold it up as a position for the future. It can be a blueprint of how we can develop future policy where we can be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Obviously, bovine TB, it remains the most immediate threat to our dairy and beef industry and the issue that causes most anxiety amongst our farming families. Recognition from the Cabinet Secretary need to break the transmission from the cattle and wildlife in some chronic herd breakdowns. Really pleased that you've done that you have recognised that, and we are having some movement. But now we need to move from small steps to large strides, ladies and gentlemen. We really do need to make some progress on this because we do have stringent cattle control measures in place now. The industry has shown its willingness to play its part, but goodwill is only there if the industry see this as part of a comprehensive, integrated strategy. And there's real concern over further controls being introduced this October. And I was really pleased that you gave us that commitment that there will be no more post-movement testing in the intermediate area of Wales. And that was really welcome because people are really, really concerned about this going forward. So, but of course, what's really important, ladies and gentlemen, is the marketplace. And what we need is a fair price for what we produce. And we're pleased to see commitment from a number of retailers to Welsh and British food. And it's really great to see, in some cases, 100% commitment through all their product lines. That's the sort of example that we need to encourage other retailers to take. And we're absolutely focused on this going forward. We want to see further progress on supply chain relationships to ensure that all partners in the supply chain can make a return and be able to invest going forward in the future. Something that's particularly close to my heart in terms of labelling. It's absolutely vital that we get clear and consistent labelling. Pleased to hear some commitments from the main stage on that earlier on. It's particularly galling to have fake farms being so popular with the consumer when they're being misled. I think it's absolutely vital that we get some clarity around this going forward. So, So we need a commitment not just from the retailer, but also in the food service and public procurement sectors. And I think there'll be some mention of that later. There are opportunities out there later, post-Brexit. You know, we've heard about the challenges and the way that we can't do things because of EU regulation. Well, of course, in a couple of years' time, that'll be gone. So we need to see how we can create a circular economy that benefits the economy of Wales as a whole. Really pleased to see a lot of young farmers here today. It's absolutely vital that we get the brightest and best people involved in our industry going forward. So we in NFU Cymru are very, very pleased to welcome Wales Young Farmers, officers, staff and members. Thank you for coming and making the time in what I know is very busy schedules. I'd like to congratulate Laura on her being Vice Chairman of National as well just the other day. So not only is she Wales Chairman, she's also Vice Chairman of National. Now, good luck in that in the future, Laura. I'm sure you'll do a great job. We're very committed to the next generation in NFU Cymru. We've set up a new next generation group. It's really, really important that we have your input into our union going forward. It's your future, ladies and gentlemen. It's your future. It's absolutely vital you shape and mould that as you see fit going forward. They're fully integrated into our policy work, and we're really keen to have a new next generation group now, because we've got to have progress. It's absolutely vital that we keep that moving and we get more and more young people in our union going forward. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, we're in a period of unprecedented change. The only consistent thing in the world is change, as they say. But never has the opportunity been greater for us to all work in collaboration and to realise our vision for a productive, profitable and progressive agricultural industry for Wales that can deliver jobs, growth and investment for all going forward. Diolch yn fawr am gwrando. Thank you very much.